I love, love, love rice in skincare, but loving the ingredient only gets you so far. Hey, it's ECAT. Think electronic cat? Yeah, welcome to my edit by ECAT. Today we are looking at rice skincare. I just get excited about rice, anything really. I actually covered the first toner in one of my previous videos, and I am sad to report that the situation hasn't changed. We were in a bit of a love-hate relationship. I wanted to love it because it has rice, but I wasn't really reaching for it. The texture was a bit of a hit or miss. So since then, I decided to put a pump top and see whether that's going to make me use it more often. And the toner that I'm talking about is the Goodal vegan rice milk. As you can see, it's got the Muji pump top. And you know what? It absolutely makes a difference of how enjoyable it is to use a thicker toner. I realized that I'm going to reach for this a lot more often if it's got a pump top. If I have to unscrew the cap, put it somewhere, dispense the toner, put the toner down, put the cap back on, it's just a lot of faff. And especially when it's a bit of a thicker toner, because it was a little bit hard to dispense. I do appreciate the texture, but the texture wasn't really for me. And I think that's where the love-hate relationship really came in, because it almost feels like a serum to me. It has that thicker, hydrating layer. It does feel lightweight, but it also feels quite nourishing, where you can feel it on your skin afterwards. I would probably apply it after lighter toners, so this one can just melt into whatever I've got on my face. But sometimes it just feels sticky and suffocating. Sometimes it just feels like it's too much. It's too heavy. It's got rice, right? But the texture just doesn't pair with it. I would have loved it if it was just a touch bit lighter. So after attaching the pump, it made a difference for a while, because I could just reach for it and dispense it directly onto my face. I felt it was so much easier to use, and I was more inclined to use it on a daily basis. But at some point, I just didn't feel like it. It wasn't enticing enough. And quite soon afterwards, it became a chore. I looked at it and I felt like I have to finish it. I have to get to the bottom of this toner. And to be honest, I think I've had it for quite a while. So it's a bit of a struggle at this point. Put a pump on my skincare and I'm gonna love it. Now, it has rice, which I love. It's got a pump, which I love. And if I'm still not reaching for it, then the problem lies elsewhere, unfortunately. I think the toner is great if you love that thicker and nourishing consistency. And it depends what you mix it with, because certain things can make it quite sticky. And I don't like sticky skincare. I absolutely loathe when my face is sticking to things. So I think this one is gonna be finished up after a shower at some point, and I will just forget about it. I can't believe that I met a rice product that I was disappointed by. So the second one is also kind of a pump story. I feel like it's one of the OG rice toners. I had it on my list. I wanted to try it for absolute ages. I was constantly looking at it, but felt it was a little bit pricey at times. So I had to find it at a good price before I got my hands on it. And you know what? It was a pleasant surprise, because I expected it to be a lot thicker. And as we just found out, that thickness sometimes doesn't go well with what I want from a toner. So this is light but nourishing toner. It's absolutely divine. It's from Thank You Farmer, and it's their Rice Pure Essential Toner. Now, this one looks thick in a bottle, but in reality, it's actually super lightweight. It just glides onto your skin. It has a bit of that thickness, but the hydration that it gives you, the nourishment, is just so good. In fact, it kind of reminded me of the Estera Autoberry Essence, but the lighter version that has rice in it. This is super nice. My only gripe with it is the packaging. And when I first opened it, I wasn't reaching for it at all. I just looked at it and I kind of felt, this is not my thing. So it has the screw top and the little hole thingy. You kind of see a lot of influencers dispensing it directly onto their face, and it's fine, but the experience just isn't great. So, of course, you probably guessed, I decided to put a pump on it. Unfortunately, the actual opening has a different shape, so I couldn't put your standard pump on it. So what I've decided to do is to get a separate pump bottle to use on a daily basis. Now, this is so great, so easy to use. I just open this up and use it like a serum when I prep my skin, and this goes on. It feels great. You expect it to be thick and heavy, but it's hydrating and nourishing. If I shake the bottle, you'll see it's almost this slightly thicker milk. It even looks tasty. I am really enjoying this. I can layer a few layers of it if I want to. I can use it with skincare devices. I am pleasantly surprised by this find. And I'm not going to lie, if I find another one at a good price, I will probably repurchase just because I enjoy it so much. The next toner that I have is also the one that I had on my list for absolute ages. Personally, I found it just by searching rice toner when shopping. It's a brand that not a lot of people talk about, but they do have a rice line. So of course it was on my radar. I was super excited to try it as soon as I got my hands on it. And the toner I'm talking about is by 9 Wishes Rice White Lucent Refining Toner. It looks very nice in person. I'm not sure whether you will be able to see it, but it's almost pearlescent, even though it doesn't have any shine, just because of the texture of it. It feels super watery, but it has this property that you see on certain drinks when you swirl it around your glass and it just clings onto the edges of your glass for a mere second before disappearing. That's the property I'm talking about. So it's not pure water, even though it feels like it. It kind of clings to your skin and gives you that bit of nourishment that sometimes feels a little bit sticky to me, and sometimes it's fine. But the interesting thing is, when I tried it with the DIY sheet mask, the sheet mask wouldn't absorb the toner fully because the toner felt a little bit viscous, even though it's not. It just doesn't have that pure, lightweight, watery consistency. The toner is nice, but I'm not sure. I like looking at it, but I'm not reaching for it. It's just there. It's there sitting, reminding me, like, hey, remember me? You wanted to try me for ages. And now that you have me, you are not reaching for me. What is going on? But yeah, how do I say it? I'm glad I tried it, but it doesn't give me that instant love factor. You know, when you reach for a toner and you're like, oh, I just love how my skin feels. I expect it to do the same, but just doesn't give me that. I love rice, but I don't love the toner. I'll have to be honest. I was comparing all of these toners to the last one on the list. It kind of needs no introduction because it's just so famous. And a lot of people love it for a reason, and I love it too. In fact, I enjoy using it so much that at some point I had to stop myself buying it because I would just use this toner and nothing else. It is so good. When I use it, it just gives me that instant feeling. It's just pure joy of a toner. Milky rice, it's super lightweight. I can't sing it enough praises. And if you haven't guessed, of course, it is the I'm From rice toner. Okay, let's address the spray top cap on this one. I always use it with the spray top cap. It's the perfect consistency to spray onto your face. It's one of those bi-phase toners, and what's great about it, it has that richness and that kind of a more creamy, nourishing feel, but also it is super, super lightweight. When you spray this on, it just leaves that healthy glow. It's just this perfect, super thin, barely noticeable mist. But because the toner itself has that nourishing feel, you don't need much. You just need that thin veil over your skin just to give you enough hydration and all that rice goodness. I just love using it always, every time. No matter the weather, no matter the skin condition, it's actually super, super soothing for me. Whenever I have inflammation, I have no objections reaching for this. I also use it with DIY sheet masking. Something so satisfying as the sheet mask just soaks up that white, creamy, milky goodness. It's so enjoyable. I think this is so far the rice toner, the love of my life. The rice obsession. I'm not sure whether my rice obsession started with this toner in particular, but it was up there. At some point, I loved rice and then I tried this. I became even more obsessed with rice skincare. It is super unique. And believe it or not, I haven't even tried the rest of the rice line from and from because this was it. I just needed this and nothing else. Need I say more? It is the toner of rice toners. If you look at all the toners that we covered so far today, none of them have similar texture, consistency to each other. They are so vastly different, even though they have the same star ingredient. It was a hard pill to swallow that I might not like a product just because it has rice. The experience, the feel, the joy, all matter so much. And packaging, of course. I have big plans to try more toners, serums, creams, and everything else. So if you have any suggestions on what rice skincare I should try next, make sure to leave it in the comments. And while you're there, let me know which one was your favorite. Thank you for watching. And as always, if you love skincare that feels fun, with lots of steps and zero regrets, then hit subscribe and come back and hang out with me again. But don't go just yet. If you still got some time, I hope you stay and watch this next video. I'll see you again soon.